And here we are, another series, at least on the live side of things. This will be the fourth cast and the final cast of Day 1 of Titans League Platinum. Here in Group A, we have ACCM and DauT. And what makes this interesting is that Winchester, who was number 1 in the whole thing last year, is in this group. And Winchester actually lost he lost 2 games in his very first series. DauT looking for his dock here. He's gone for the Malians, a very good Nomad pick. And then on the other side, we have ACCM, who's gone for the Lithuanians. So we have a very interesting generation here. DauT is actually going to be docking a little pond/lake, only it's not in the middle. So if it was in the middle, that is more common. I mean, it doesn't happen every generation, but he could figure it out. Based on what he sees here, he might not realize, oh, never mind. He will realize that at least this side is landlocked. But this could be good for him, or this could be bad for him. A lot of people are going to adapt their strategy later on, based on if their fish are going to be safe. Again, it would be dependent on his strategy. I think if you were to go for Fast Castle, it would be really good. If you wanted to compete for water, even though his fish would be safe here, it might hurt him actually to not be able to group up any fire galleys from this dock with the other dock. Meanwhile, the dock from ACCM is on the right side, and we'll see him scouting to find DauT's dock, which they may or may not end up finding. And as always, the name of the game is to use your sheep or goats to find others' docks. So we're actually going to see a just passing moment with sheep, I'm guessing. Actually, wait a second. DauT already found his opponent's dock. So he already lost a sheep over here. That's the one that is moving here for ACCM, I'm guessing. So DauT found his opponent's dock right away. That's actually a really big deal. That's the only reason you really scout the shoreline. I mean, he will be able to scout with fishing ships to find out the situation here for himself. But I think 3 deep fish plus a short fish or 2 is not too bad for DauT. I don't think he would have necessarily been planning on that, though. So very safe fish. I'm trying to determine what this map looks like at the moment. It's shaped like something, but I'm not sure what it is. Like a moldy piece of bread. Not that I have a lot of those around my house, but I don't know. I'll probably opt to listen to your ideas more than anything. Like a dinosaur skull? I mean, it could look like a dinosaur skull, I guess. A curled cat? See, this is very different than moldy bread. Well, as far as the civs here go, I do prefer the Lithuanians. Starting with that extra 150 food makes your start very easy. But Malians are one of 2 civilizations that can afford a TC, a house, a dock, and a fishing ship at the start. So Malian start's certainly not bad. I feel like all of DauT's wood being behind him could also be good for him. But this is wide open, and I can't help but feel like if anyone ever controls this hill, it's going to be important. Like the wood generation's definitely weird here. It feels like he's almost cramped. So he almost needs to push to the side or forward to be able to expand his eco. And there's only stone back here, so I could see Lithuanians and ACCM being in a better position. It just seems like it'd be easier to move around. Here we have boar number 2 for ACCM. And let's see, does he found DauT's dock? No, he has no clue where DauT's dock is. He might end up finding that DauT's over here with this goat, though. So far, as smooth as can be from both players. But remember, one of the common strategies on this map is to try and win water. And so, like, if you go to win water, if you're DauT, and your opponent makes ships, there's no risk that you're going to end up losing your fish. He now knows that this is a safe fish for him. And he now knows his opponent has docked over here. But again, like that, the downside is if you try and dock over here, you almost need to make 2 of them because your original dock can't produce. I mean, it can produce ships, but it's not going to help you out that much. I'd be interested to see if DauT takes his boar. Because at the moment, ACCM has not seen anything that could indicate DauT's here. Actually, no, I lied. Okay, so he must have lost a sheep. DauT has not lost a sheep or a goat next to ACCM's town center yet. So very interesting generation. so many different things to think about and talk about, and that can affect your play. And I feel like true nomad should be adapting and not always being able to choose a strategy and do the same thing every single time. And that's precisely what we have here. Though obviously it helps to know exactly what you're capable of in a game. You might want to ban out nomad, right? They had opportunities to ban. And the way the draft works, for those that don't see it, someone just said they wish they could see it on YouTube. So basically you have ban at the start. So like DauT bans a map, ACCM bans a map. Then DauT picks a map, then ACCM picks a map. And then it's ban until there's one map remaining, and whatever map is remaining is what ends up being played for game one. So if you hate nomad, you had like 3 or 4 separate instances of getting bans. Now we've got double dock here for ACCM. Now it's going to help DauT as he has Malian, so his wood buildings are a bit cheaper. And again, his fishing ships are safe. Oh, but man, actually, now that I think about it, like his fish are going to run out here. It feels like if he doesn't kill his opponent's fish, he's going to have to end up fish trapping here. Yeah, this is where, like, I think, and I'd have to talk to someone who's more of a nomad expert, but I think if you have safe fish, your best strategy is actually to just go fast castle. Because look, like ACCM, it would have been making galleys. He hasn't found DauT's dock. So ACCM is making galleys. He would otherwise be making galleys against no fish. But now that you're making ships, the galleys actually benefit ACCM because he can defend his own fish. So I think it's a bit of a trap here from DauT that he found where ACCM's fish will be. We'll see, of course, how much damage he's able to get in. Because ACCM's completely clueless to this. Like, he has scouted a lot of this map, and he just has not found the dock anywhere. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Found it. And now he's got to be thinking that this... I don't know if I'll actually look at this, but he might be thinking that he could get in on the other side. Okay, DauT shows up with the fires. It does benefit DauT to be very close. And DauT's on the fishing ships already. And ACCM's now thinking that DauT's going to be coming from this side, which would be correct. And ACCM was hoping he could mass the galleys because he figured he'd be far away. Remember, he already scouted this shoreline. DauT, he docked the shoreline after the fact. So ACCM's got to be very confused by this. And so he's not able to fish with those 3 fishing ships. And now DauT comes in with galleys to kill these 2. So I take it back. I mean, DauT not having a lot of fish to fish on here hurts. But now it's at least even with the fishing ships. And we'll see what the long term looks like for DauT. He was just going to add the barracks now. So I think DauT's going to be happy with that. And it's so easy for the Malians to build all these buildings because all their wood buildings are discounted. So he'll be able to switch into an archer range most likely. A big thing for DauT that he needs, though, is he needs a house, which I think he's forgotten. And it's going to be a bad one. It'll stall out his TC. It'll stall out his docks. It'll stall out everything he's trying to produce from. I imagine he'll fix that right away. But yeah, like right now it's like, housed. So idle TC time goes up. He's just going to get loom, though. That's fine. ACCM's 3 fishing ships have not been working. He's had 0 fishing ships working. How do fish traps stack up against farms? So, I forget the gather rate difference. But you have 700 wood per fish trap. And it's 100 wood for that. Whereas a farm is 60 wood. And it also depends on your farm upgrades how much you get. But fish traps last a long time, and I love the fact that DauT's doing that. So ACCM was unable to protect his fish, very confused by the map generation. Did land a really healthy demo there, which will allow him to probably clear up things on water and maybe get back to producing more fish. But I think DauT is already quite happy with what he's achieved here. And DauT just stood way too close to that dock, and this is going to allow ACCM to fish freely, and it's going to allow him to add more fishing ships if he wants. Also, it's added a dock towards the middle, thinking that he could fish there. And, oh, DauT snipes 1 more fishing ship. That was really sneaky from him. Also bringing in boar, bringing in deer. Still no archer range, though. I was expecting maybe he would do that. He's actually going to drop a stable over here. And naturally, ACCM is probably going to send the Navy this way. And DauT's still going to make some ships so he won't give up full water control to ACCM. Yeah, plus you only need 75 wood for the fishing ship in the first place. Exactly. And you don't need a villager to work on the fish trap, right? So it's a unit you already have, and you want those units to be working. Full walls from ACCM. Possibly feeling like DauT's Castle Age time will be better than his. Would love to see ACCM wall this off. That might not be an issue because of how DauT's playing this, but you never know. Sorry for the dinging. I apologize for the ring-a-ling dings, but I have to click the docks and the ships, and that's just how it works. DauT, I'd love to see him make a scout here. I think like one scout would do a lot of help for him. And I'm a little surprised that he moved out there when he did. But he is going to have fire ships from the other side, so it kind of traps ACCM. I don't know. We'll see how this pans out for DauT. He's going to be chased all the way to the edge of the map. Now he could just send the fires in towards the fish, I suppose. ACCM going to retaliate with his own fires. Big walls for ACCM. Still not up to Castle Age from him. DauT is known for being aggressive in early castle. He likes to sell his stone sometimes. Go for the market play. Where is ACCM going? I think he was actually going to try and dock there. I think he just saw that the situation down here, and I believe he was going to try and dock, and now DauT Scout's going to find that villager. So that's a little bit of a gift there. ACCM will lose that unless he quick walls it. 2 stables from DauT, forging and bloodlines on the way. What he doesn't know is that ACCM's gold is right beyond those walls. Now, the fires from DauT didn't end up killing any more fishing ships. But he hasn't allowed ACCM to freely fish, and it's been that type of game. Still might not give up on water either. He could use his starting dock to research War Galley first thing if he wants to. I would never do it. I would go for night numbers. But DauT's able to do both. So now I'm liking it more and more as he also drops the monastery. He will lose this dock, unfortunately. I wonder if he's going to lose this dock before the ship. It's so close. I think he will. Ah, it was at 90%. It'd be pretty smart from DauT to maybe dock the other side of the map and then loot fires in the other direction too. But he's got to focus on this push. We've got 2 roaming spearmen for ACCM. But, you know, he could make a few more. He could make monks, and he drops a house there. DauT having no siege doesn't allow this push to really get going. And DauT here, still engaging against ACCM. It's as good an engagement as he's going to get, but ACCM still holding here very nicely. This has been an amazing game. I don't know if you guys have been enjoying this as much as I have, but it's been really good. Remember, we talked about DauT needing to expand in the long term. Chose not to TC over here. He wants it right next to everything. That's probably good for the short term. And here he's just going to convert a spearman. ACCM just deletes it. As ACCM has his own monastery, is making a scout and some of his own knights. Grab this relic. Has a lot of things behind these walls now. And has 7 fishing ships. So, I mean, DauT's decision to go for the water there, perhaps a little bit questionable, as we have the scout go in for the monk. What a great play here. And he kills the monk. That was a splendid play from ACCM. Remember, DauT was Castle Age faster. And ACCM's been able to defend so far. And now DauT, he's got to make another monk here. But there's a monk here from ACCM. And ACCM could convert a knight. And DauT's going to pull away. Interesting, interesting. Fish boom's not crazy. We know that. In fact, the food economy from fish might even be better for DauT because of the fish traps. DauT's Vil count could and probably should surpass ACCM's. Actually, no, I take it back. ACCM's going to be 3 TCs. What? Holy transitions, man. Are both players going for conversions? One player's going to convert a knight, though. Other one's going to convert a spearman. Both end up losing the monks, but the knight can run away and survive. Or not, actually. It looks like that knight will die. Important that DauT kills it, and he does. Very well played by DauT. DauT now adding another scout. And it's a bad day to be a monk, guys. It's a very bad day if you just want to chill inside of your temple or your monastery and worship the Lord. DauT adding the third TC. Again, I'm not a big fan of the positioning, but he doesn't see another resource, right? Like, I still would prefer to see him expand, but I guess if you ever get raided... I mean, geez, research too. Oh, what? Oh my God. Okay. This is one of the more impressive things you're going to see. ACCM. What an amazing play from him. Okay, so he couldn't find DauT's dock originally. Got surprised and lost all of his fish, all right? Then has had to full wall the entire map. Was later to Castle Age, had to thwart knights. Now is trying to defend, boom on 3 TCs, blah, 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 blah. This guy scouted this a while ago, looped a villager the whole way around, and is going to be in a position to take out DauT's fishing ships and fish traps, which is going to hurt DauT because he doesn't really have the farming eco yet. That is insane to me. You could have so easily just never done that and still been okay with the rest of the aspects of this game. But ACCM's like, yeah, I know you call DauT the Lord, but I'm actually a god. Sorry. Like, what? Especially on the timing, too. Like, if you're going to get an attack signal when you're worried about all this. I mean, both players are playing exceptionally well. DauT, though, he leaves a monk exposed, and that monk is going to go down before it gets a conversion. And now DauT, everything's just falling apart. Sanctity being in right now for ACCM means that his monks can take one more hit. And, I mean, that scout could also be... Ooh, ooh, ooh. DauT, run away. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Very awkward. Again, bad day to be a monk. I'm not sure if it's a good day to be a knight or not. Great job from DauT. He's going to kill these monks. And I guess in the end, he'll take this. ACCM has to back up. We'll see if this dock produces. Looks like it will. DauT doesn't see that. DauT has no reason to ever expect that and go to defend from that. 75 eco, though, versus 60. Guys, ACCM has 53 seconds of TC idle time. I know that, you know, for the most part, we do this for entertainment and to enjoy high-level play. And there are times when you guys probably watch, and I will say, oh my God, this makes me want to play Age of Empires 2 right now. It's inspiring to see this type of level, right? But honestly, this is so good, it makes me just want to quit. Like, I don't have aspirations to be, you know, one of the best players in the world. I want to be top 50, which I guess is pretty high. But I see stuff like this, and I'm like, yeah, I have absolutely no chance to ever get to the level that these two are playing at. Particularly ACCM, though I should maybe calm down with my excitement over him, because look at DauT's push that's coming in. We have redemption on the way for ACCM's monks that will allow him to convert this siege. And he will go in to convert this siege now. It's just popped. He's going to pull back to the TC, though, and just be a little bit more patient. Also, his 2 relics. So his knights have 10+2 attack, which is very helpful. Obviously, you still don't want to donate those knights to your opponent. And I would have loved to have actually seen the atonement upgrade from him. Instead of, or in addition to, redemption, as he donates knights to convert 1 mangonel. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it here. Look at what DauT's doing here. DauT's killing a lot of monks. He does lose the siege, but he's still going to hold some really good map control because of this. Has lost his fishing ships, has lost his fish traps now. He actually made a second dock like he was going to fight back for it, but I think DauT will take that trade. This is a very close game. Yes, ACCM's got an amazing economy. He's also added more fish over here. Or, excuse me, I guess he's added more fish in general. Maybe not there. But that trade there was not too bad. Your siege push was probably never going to kill your opponent anyways. At least now you can hold the rest of the map. And remember this hill we talked about. Imagine a castle here would be so good. I'm very curious on if DauT's going to outpost this side, right? Because I think that's an avenue for attack later on for both players. If ACCM would have had a better engagement there, he would have castled here instead of here. He was concerned that this was becoming a problem. And he's still concerned it's going to be a problem as he now drops a tower. Maybe he knew it was coming. He's got the pikeman upgrade right now, but oh no, of course it's going to happen with DauT. DauT dropping a castle that may or may not go up. When have you heard that in a sentence before? But I think it will go up. All right, and that is as risky as it could possibly get for him, but calculated. It will deny that gold. It will deny some of the wood. It cuts off a large portion of ACCM's eco. Oh, man. Tell me DauT sees this, though. ACCM's like, well, I've got TCs, now I've got castles. I'm fine. Let's go raid. Oh! Hello? Just passing? Hello? Oh, it's a guided tour. Oh, this was on the schedule. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, they're actually fighting each other, and this is a giant war? Oh, that's really cool. Well, DauT is also trying to kill things. He's more focused on the farms, and he does react, but he takes some losses. And that's quite a few villagers down and quite a few villagers idled. The plus side for DauT, though, is that the army that's attacking him doesn't even have armor. And he's going to use the scouts, and he's going to kill those monks, so these things will get pushed away. And I guess the pikemen that are so speedy with the Lithuanians might chase these camels down from DauT as well. ACCM, his priority has to be saving this army, though. I want to see DauT kill these monks. Again, like, the scouts got so much value already. Tell me he notices. Well, lots to focus on. Camels running, chasing, sees the monks, kills one of them. And now those monks can't really hop out of there easily. Imp would be important. DauT's on the way to the Imperial Age here. They also got a few Gabetto. Never a bad unit to have in combination with everything else to counter the pikemen. And the key difference in this game, at least for me, is initiative. One of the most important things you could have. DauT's coming back on water, by the way, which is crazy. But not just initiative, but army count. Or let's just say army type. All of those things are combined with initiative, of course. It's a whole different conversation, but I think that's looking pretty good for DauT, assuming he can keep his castles up. Now, he just clicked these Gabetto here, and the pathing is taking them the wrong way. And thankfully for DauT, he realizes, as both players are on the way to Imp, this is an amazing Nomad game, so I'll say this. If you're watching this on the main channel, I hope you enjoy this. This is an amazing game. The full best of 3 will be in the description. And subscribe to the Extras channel, please and thank you. We have all sets up there, hours and hours of content every single day for all you people who either need naps or don't want to work or don't want to study, whatever else. Whoa, what a crazy fight. DauT's going to win this fight, though. That is an awful fight for ACCM. And it's just an invitation for DauT to now drop a castle here before he reaches Imp. It's going to be 2 castles versus 2. DauT in the position to make some trebs. Remember, he's also kind of on the clock with gold. This position is so awkward for him. He can scout and find this gold if he looks for it. He doesn't see it. Oh, and he doesn't see this either. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so unlucky for him. I mean, at the end of the day, you do have to say, like, maybe get the relic. If you get the relic, you're going to see it. You know, maybe make some outposts. That's an important aspect of the game. But also, like, how unlucky can the guy be? He is going to see this area where he could pressure ACCM. But as far as DauT is concerned, he's just working with this, which is like 1,200 gold. And he's going to switch sides, actually, which is an interesting choice. I mean, he doesn't see a lot of units that could dive for trebs at the moment from ACCM, but ACCM has Latus in those castles. Oh, man. This is a great game, because DauT's army here will force some type of reaction. And it being Gabetto plus camels means you can't just send pikemen. And it's also going to deny a lot of resources. It also means that the trebs can have their time. Let's see what the Latus end up doing here. I think ACCM had like he had an upgrade check moment where he's like, oh crap, I didn't have any armor this whole time. So he's working on that. He didn't notice this. He did not notice this. He's so focused on this. Oh my God. Oh my God. This raid is going to change the game. And I'm sure the trebs are going to go down. Like, I feel like that's the move for ACCM here. But he still has no clue. Oh, he's like me when I choose to play without my headphones. It's like he didn't realize. Now he knows, though, and he's just lost like 50 economy. And the most crucial of economy as well. The stone, the gold. Oh, man. DauT's got to be so happy with that. Now, at the end of the day, DauT's aggression has kind of given him that opportunity. Because he chose to take a fight. He chose to drop the castle, sorry, and go for Trebs. And all those things distracted ACCM and worried ACCM. ACCM goes for Halb. He still has some latest out, but he's lost 2 of his castles. His relics are right beneath this. DauT's still pretty light on gold. He does escape with what's left of this army. I actually think ACCM still has a chance because DauT doesn't... He stopped making army. And you could tell he's desperate for gold. But, like, this is bad for DauT. He also lost his castles. ACCM will kill all the trebuchets. And ACCM can get back on the gold and can get back on the stone, is killing these villagers. DauT went from killing 50 villagers to losing all control over the game, which is just a crazy statement. I know DauT had gold problems, but what was his plan here? Like, he didn't upgrade anything in Imp. He just went for the trebs, and maybe he thought that would be enough. Oh my goodness, 5 trebuchets down for DauT, and ACCM with a 30 population lead. And DauT, okay, he did find this gold now. Good, did find that gold. It also opened up his mind to looking for stone. I like the walling there. That's an important thing he's done. And heavy camel is the right decision if it's just Latis. But ACCM's got a 2-pronged attack here. Much like DauT did with the Gebetto and Knight combination. Now it's Latis and Halb. Also, shout out to this monk for being an absolute badass. Okay, it didn't work out, but I still admire him for it. ACCM still has his trebs. DauT wasn't able to save his. ACCM now producing Latis, producing Halbs, pressuring DauT's castle. And DauT doesn't have the castle numbers to really get the Gebetto mass up. And it's easier to produce Halbs, right? Because you're just producing out of the barracks now. Not to mention there's speedy Halbs with the Lithuanians. Okay, here comes monk number 2. Oh, wait, no. Okay. Oh, well, all right. He died. I was going to say maybe he's not going for the relic this time. And ACCM just says, all right, I just need to camp these trebs here. Also, has the galley there. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's a pretty nice touch. DauT trying to do anything right now to take ACCM out of position. And he's sinking a lot into repairing this castle. It's fortunate for him that the trebs are firing uphill, so they're doing less damage. And DauT's army count's certainly looking better than it was a moment ago. But, I like the Gebetto as a unit, but it is just so fragile. It's so low HP. And ACCM figures he's close enough to taking this castle out that he can just commit to the fight. And he'll do so. And he'll clear up the army from DauT. And he's going to take out DauT's castle. And in the Titans League opener, at least for these 2 players in Group A, it seems like ACCM is going to open up with a winning game 1. I've just not seen any positives for DauT. He won't be able to make Gebetto anymore. He's just stuck on camels from here. We kind of talked about the options the Lithuanians have. It's like any map they can go into, and they can have some really good options. This civ has been stacked for a long time, ever since it's been introduced, pretty much. Malians is more about the flexibility early. We saw that flexibility used from DauT. He did a lot in feudal. He did a lot in castle. But what can he do now? Does he have a strong unit type, a unit comp? Does he have any positives? ACCM still producing Latis, still producing Halbs. It wouldn't be a bad move from ACCM to just drop a castle here now. You just come forward, drop a castle, and then your trebuchets from underneath that castle can start taking everything else out. ACCM, I want to see his vision. He can see a lot more of the map, right? If DauT would have pushed in this way, ACCM would be in a similar problem where he's stuck and constricted. But the winner of the whole castle Trebor, even though a bunch of castles went down, sorry about the sniff, was definitely ACCM. Just simply due to the fact that he had continuous army production there. But, like, he lost like 40 villagers or something right before that. You see this in most cases, that attack that happened earlier, and normally the game ends there. Now with ACCM, man. Look at the idle TC count. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. His macro has been insane. Again, there's the castle we're asking for. Relic number 3 is now in. So the latest of 13 plus 4 attack. And, I mean, DauT's waiting for hand cannons here, guys. But this is just not going to work. ACCM had vision on the stone, so ran over to the stone. ACCM is going to send some halbs over here now to protect the golds. He's probably wondering, you know, what on earth is DauT going to do here? Like, I'm not actually seeing any army from him. And I'm sure ACCM knows that he's going to win this first game. And what a great game, though. I like the amount of discussions we were able to have on the pros and cons of certain situations. Like, there were pros and there were cons to DauT's dock starting position, for example. There were pros and there were cons to DauT opening with the faster knights. And, yeah, I mean, I could go down the whole list. Obviously, I hope I've done this game justice with my commentary. I sometimes have situations where I don't feel like I've done that. But this game has been a treat of a Nomad game, but DauT's now at 100 pop. Obviously, $40 per victory in this tourney. So we put a lot of money on the line for the players to be able to play for. But ultimately, this is a league format. Every win matters. And if you don't win enough games, you will be relegated down to gold for the next season. That's something that DauT was in the conversation for in the first season. As was ACCM. Because they both, I mean, the groups are just crazy. The competition's crazy all the time. But yeah, DauT, I mean, I don't know if Malians have any bonuses at play here. DauT's like, I don't want T90 to put this on YouTube. And so if he does, I'm going to make sure a bunch of people leave at the end to mess with the algorithm. That's definitely what he's doing. Trebs versus hand cannons. Who wins, guys? Actually, a closer battle than one might think. GG. What a crazy, crazy game. But yeah, you can look at the KD, both in the eco and the normal KD. But I think this tells part of the story, right? Most created unit from DauT was 40 camels. We haven't seen camels in a very long time. 102 halbs created by ACCM. He's got 32 on the map, but we also saw latest. We also saw knights. He just produced like a madman this game. I mean, the one tiny thing that really excited me in this game, which I'd like to talk about again, is how ACCM somehow got a dock up in like the safest dock ever. And then DauT cleared it up and got back on the fish traps. Like, that's wild to me. But no, ultimately, I kind of want to go back, actually. Okay, so DauT got in. Okay, so at this point, guys, look at, I'm going to skip through when this fight's happening, and I want you to look at the unit queue for DauT. Okay, so there he's producing a couple knights. Not a lot, though, when you're headed towards Imp. Still not seeing, he's in Imp, actually. Look, he's not producing anything. Okay, still looking. I mean, obviously, it's me being a little critical. Like, I skipped through it, and he got 2 knights, 1 Gabetto. Like, ACCM, he only has 1 castle, and he's producing 2 latest, and he's producing 3 halbs, and he just kept producing units. Now, some of that certainly came down to DauT not seeing gold. If he would have been on this gold a couple minutes earlier, you could easily make a strong argument that he's able to make more army here, and maybe could go for, like, champions or something. But I think, like, he was very focused on the fight. He figured, I'm going to treb down ACCM, and then ACCM stuck, but he didn't expect ACCM to be able to produce as much. Like, ACCM also had 18 villagers in queue as he lost, like, 50. So he immediately got back up to a good vill high. So, very impressive win from ACCM. Once again, everybody who's watching this on YouTube later, because that was a banger. Basically, I don't want to spam full sets to the YouTube channel until later stages of any tourney, because it's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with too much content, but sometimes I could put up a series that might not be as entertaining. I want you guys, if you see a video by T90 Official, to think that it's going to be a good game, because my main channel always gets the best games, right? So for that reason, you got this individual game, which happened to be game 1 in this series. If you want to watch the full best of 3, though, or play all 3, excuse me, and wow, look at that. In fact, DauT had more gold. Dang, that's a crazy stat. If you wish to see the rest of the games, you can just check the video description where we'll have the full play all 3. It's also on a second YouTube channel, which is called T90 Extras, where like all the sets from this are just going all the time. Okay? Cool. Thank you. Total eco count that game, 186 for ACCM. Pretty telling stat, right? Is there a total military? I mean, this is cool. I guess you could do the math with some of it. I'm just trying to think through. It'd be cool. Let's look at military count. Military population. Yeah, look at that. This is military population throughout the entire game. It almost always seems like ACCM had a little bit more. Now, I think where that gets deceiving is I think he had extra Navy, right? Like, didn't he still have this? Okay, so if we're being particular, that Navy would apply to that, which might mean that things were a little bit more even. But I do still think that tells the tale, certainly right here. Like, DauT lost his army, and there's a drop-off. And ACCM always had consistent production. GG, well played. And, man, both players speedy as can be. Great game. So here we are, game number 2. Now it's gone for the Byzantines on a map that at least my buddy Dave earlier said he actually prefers for RM over Empire Wars. I think that was a little early of a judgment, but I'll take the compliment. I mean, we didn't produce this map. I think it was Krazzini and Red Bull that had envisioned this for Red Bull Wololo Legacy. But anyways, you've got water in the middle to compete for on this one. You have a sea tower, which keeps you pretty well protected for a while. And both players are probably going to compete for water in different ways. ACCM, however, he picked a civ that we saw from Jordan earlier today. And the way Jordan played it reminded me just how much Hunt is on this map. I wasn't expecting Mongols to be an early pick. I was thinking like Japanese, Vikings, Malay, Byzantines. But he's going to push in quite a bit of Hunt. He then is going to have his Rhino, so lots of food income there. But look, there's extra deer there. There's extra deer here and here and here. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't really factor that extra deer in when we were talking about the map. We just kind of left the rest of the map as is and then balanced the water a bit. So we will find out how ACCM is able to play this. As for DauT, I think he's going to play into some fire ships. At least that's what you would expect because Byzantines have some really effective fires. But if you play into fire ships, the sea tower hits you. The sea tower's got 6 range. Or is it 7 range? That's attack damage. Is that 8 range? Oh, that's 8 range. Okay, so neither. And it shoots 3 projectiles. It's actually stupid strong. It's really strong against feudal ships. So I think if you're going Navy, I think going fire ships is a mistake. Because smart players are going to always dock near the sea tower. And they usually have some way of keeping their fish protected. But again, I haven't seen it in a normal start enough times, so I don't know. If there was no sea tower, I think Byzantines would probably have a pretty good shot if they go for the fires. I think what you could realistically do is you could probably go for the galleys and feudal for the reasons that I said. And then once you get to Castle Age, then you could go for Castle Age fires. So you're not like committing to galleys the whole game, I guess. Interesting things to talk about. Anyways, very important that DauT opens up here with a victory. At least, like, I think getting 3-0'd at all in Platinum is just setting yourself up for failure. There are a lot of players who got 1 win out of the play all 3s multiple times in the first season that still ended up getting relegated. So you need to make sure that you're not getting swept. Because that's going to put you... It's going to mean you need to get 2 1s and maybe even a 3-0 later on. Obviously, we still got this game and 1 more game, though. So even if DauT were to lose this, he could always win on the final one. Could you take out the sea tower with an early drush? Maybe a dumb idea. Paul, I'm not going to say it's a dumb idea. because people who are meaner than me would use that word. But you're not too far off. Yeah, I don't think that would work very well. The sea tower's got 1300 HP. I think the militia would do like 1 damage a hit. And it would take a very long time. But yeah, you could. You could. I actually am curious on if the militia could actually walk up to the sea tower without dying. Anyways, double dock here from ACCM. ACCM did lose some HP on his scout, I noticed, to the sea tower. We're seeing a water build here for ACCM. And it would be quite a slalom here. DauT, just 2 fishing ships. All right, so he really wanted to get up fast. I'd say on normal water maps, you're going to see 3 or 4 fishing ships for players other than Mongols. So DauT is not done that because he wants to make sure he gets his dock up. Which will mean that he actually has to send a villager to dock. Hello, DauT? 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 That dock's going to be late. So we see the Mongol timing because of the hunt bonus. We see a better build order here for ACCM. DauT's second dock is super late. That dock needs to be completed. So he's able to make Navy. In fact, he's adding a 3rd fishing ship now. I think he's just focused on walling a lot. He actually is full walled. And he's walled all the way to the dock here in the sea tower. Actually, there might be no way to cross from this side. Because the sea tower blocking that tile. And uh-oh, DauT, quick wall. DauT and quick wall, oftentimes not words you hear in the same sentence. And he's just going to lose his villager there. ACCM picked off the Wallville. And that's a nice little start here for ACCM. DauT's going to bring his scout home now, obviously. He wants to protect his villager. He knows the scout could come back for more. And ACCM has already left. Here's the positive for DauT. He has the sea tower to protect him. So he has to be careful. You see what I mean? Militia aren't surviving against that thing. ACCM's really looking for the fish. And I don't know, maybe DauT didn't expect him to get so close here. But ACCM, very good micro. In the end, though, he does back away, and he did lose half his HP. Man, ACCM's so bold with this, though. That's impressive. So 2-0 KD right now. And, I mean, I don't want to assume too much right away. But, honestly, ACCM's just playing like a beast. All of his transitions have seemed really smooth from water to eco. His decision making, he just feels like he's more active on the map, and he's getting the better of the proper decisions. Like here, he's actually even going to repair his ship, which is interesting. And he's going to take the hunt in the back, which is something that we talked about in Dark Age, right? Also walling up. Now, DauT has Byzantine fires, but I'm really curious to see how the fires do against the sea tower. I feel like the galleys should always fall back to the sea tower. I don't think this will be great for DauT on water. Let's see if DauT can stop ACCM from saving his villager. That should be a dead vill. Great job from DauT to get some retaliation there. And his scout still has more HP. So DauT will be very happy about that. The other thing, too, in terms of the water battles is how much are you gaining from it, right? Like, I don't think you gain that much right now if you make more than like 10 galleys in feudal. Oh, DauT's scout must have taken a hit from a villager, so now it's actually 3 HP behind ACCM's. So this thing could escape this way. We'll keep an eye on that. Nope. DauT takes the fight. I don't feel like the fires have done anything for DauT. And I mean, to be honest, he was late to massing in the first place. And it's looking really bad for him at the moment. I think in Castle Age it could get better. I think he's going to realize this is so bad that I believe he will sell his stone and buy food to try and click Castle Age at a competitive time. I wonder if ACCM will do the same. It's not a great map to sell your stone because you want to get town centers in the gold. You only get 4 tiles of gold at your base. Both players have actually walled out their 2 tiles. So something to pay attention to and consider. Now trying to loop with fires here. There's potential on this. And I think ACCM's a little distracted. He does have a demo on the way. But good job from DauT to make the most of this situation here as these galleys, they drop down to an 8. I think he was just being too greedy against the dock. Again, I think you could just sit next to the sea tower. Wow, DauT's economy looking better. Obviously, he did sell his stone, though. That's a common thing for DauT. Sell his stone, and then, wow, ACCM doing the same. But yeah, they're probably just going to, like, buy it later. I think DauT's missing a building. Oh, no. What's the building? Blacksmith? Oh, no. Oh, build it fast! Oh, he's had the resources for a bit here. Feels like that timing is obviously going to be a really big talking point here with galleys against fires. And DauT coming in to kill some fishing ships. Will find some reward. But now can he get away with the demo coming? And boom, not the best demo ever. ACCM over here now, taking some hunt. So that's still giving him a really good eco. Does reporting people in-game actually work? Question mark. I've been told that they're all reviewed. But it's not up to you, me, or anyone who does the reporting to determine what happens to that individual. So I guess the definition of work depends on what you're expecting to happen from your report. But yeah, I've had instances where I've reported people and I have the context to follow up, and they're like, yeah, that was dealt with or whatever. But hope whatever you experienced didn't ruin your day. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. I could definitely see DauT buying the stone back, but the priority's got to be water. And this is where I think Byzantines can do a better job. You just reported 5 people? Okay, well. We don't need more details. I probably shouldn't have responded. We don't need to get into that. This is just going down the list. What if he's reporting his teammates that didn't make army? You know, the teammates that add town centers instead of helping him. Anyway, Step Lancer's here for ACCM. He did actually go back to stone. So he, with that stone, he'll be able to drop town centers, which he might be thinking about. DauT later to Castle Age due to forgetting some buildings and not timing things properly, and now he's starting to lose his ships. He's made a camel here, or somewhere. Where exactly is it? I don't know. Here it is. That's true. DauT did also go to stone. He's also going to go for relics. Step Lancer's actually running through the middle. So it's like they've checked here to see if there's anything. They don't see anything, and now they're just going to run right through the middle. I love that aspect of this map. Oh, wait. He was considering running to... He's trying to get into DauT's base, I think. He could only go to the other side. Okay, so dock for DauT could go down. It might actually be worth it for DauT to just avoid this and go here. Oh my god, the demo's just waiting. Oh, that's so sick. I mean, there's only 7 galleys. So it's also worth it for DauT to come over here. And ACCM sees the camels. ACCM might not have seen the fires. ACCM! This is just like before, right? Moved out too far, and then the power of the Byzantine fire is finally getting some value. DauT needed this one. Not sure about the demo hit. He didn't need that, but man, great stuff. And the camels, they will find themselves in a good position over here. But this TC... Whoops, I'm so sorry. I misclicked. TC's going to go up for ACCM as we see DauT go to the north. Guys, this could be a really long, really competitive, really exciting game. Strap in. Game 1 went to the main channel. Or will go to the main channel, speaking in future tense, because it was an epic one. This game here has all the makings of it, from what I'm seeing. The big difference is that I think ACCM's economy is better. But Byzantines don't necessarily need an economy that's as good. Fishing ships will go down. Obviously, DauT doesn't have any either. And now the sea tower gets dealt with pretty quickly. And imagine what DauT can do, right? Like, he can range so much of the shoreline with ships in the long term. He can run through the middle with things. Or for things, like a castle drop. It seems like ACCM wants to get to Mangadai sooner rather than later. Having as much as he does on stone. And I have personally loved... Sorry, we just missed some demos here. We're going to go back and pretend I saw that. Oh my god, great demos from ACCM, just as we thought DauT was going to win water. Holy. But yeah, I mean, ACCM's not going to give up on water because he realizes the importance that could have for DauT in the long term. But he does step on over to the north now to see if DauT's got a town center up there. And when he gets there, he's going to find that DauT is there. The DauT making an outpost or two. ACCM obviously wants to avoid the camels in the first place, so he's just scouting. He's going to see this. So the step lancers have brought decent enough vision and scouting. Camels over here, however, killed a monk. And in the end, they're trading some camel HP. That's annoying for DauT. I don't think that's the end of the world for him. He actually has monks, and he's now killed those step lancers too. We have 22 kills, 22 deaths. I wonder if after losing his sea tower like that, ACCM was like, I have galleys. If I take out his sea tower, I actually get more benefit. So if ACCM had army, he would bring the army here and drop a castle in this area. I think because he doesn't have army, he either needs the castle at home, like maybe here, or maybe even in the middle. Like, I wouldn't hate that. But I could also see him justifying a castle on this side, because that might be DauT's thinking. DauT will have army, so he might want to pressure a side with a castle, which would probably be the side that ACCM's on. So we might want to see a preemptive castle there for the Vietnamese player, who lands a really good demo, actually, that somehow hit 3 ships. The demos have definitely been key for ACCM. Horse collar very late for DauT, but he has had the wood upgrade. So I think that evens out in the end. He's got good farming eco. And yeah, really good thinking here. I think a mistake that DauT has made many times is to place a castle when he's not in a position to place it. If he sees this, I think he places a safe castle and tries to go imp to trap that down. But he needs army there. And DauT's fire ships still winning out. Again, like, Byzantines are no joke with this. DauT actually adding TC number 4 in his base. Still not giving up on the water. Really good job from DauT. Also, great job from ACCM. Is there a hole here? No, there's not. I'm just surprised ACCM didn't make any monks. Also, at this stage of the game, is this not a little too ambitious, ACCM? I mean, I know you're Mongols. He didn't know the outpost was there, but that's a little too close to your opponent's base. Seems a little sloppy. Is making his number 1 unit the Mangadai. DauT's got a decision to make on where he places his castle. DauT's got a lot of vision over the map. DauT's got good economy. Byzantines have a cheaper Imperial. In my eyes, you have camels and you have a monk, which is maybe good enough. You bring your vills now and you drop the castle here. You do it before the Mangadai number gets higher. It is DauT we're talking about. There is a very good chance that he doesn't have the army here and this castle gets denied. It is so important for him. Like, I think he wins the game if he gets his castle up here safely. And then again, ACCM will be an imp faster. He doesn't know any of this is happening, and he doesn't have a lot of Mangadai. There goes ACCM towards imp. This does get interesting. Like, Byzantines will have more HP on their castles. They can support with camels, which should be much easier than Mangadai. Did see the castles going up there. So I think you're committed to your second castle over here. Which might end up being okay, because DauT hasn't clicked up yet. ACCM probably just wants to kill the monk. He knew the monk was there. So kills the monk. Would love to kill a couple camels too. DauT. DauT's over here, by the way. He's been really annoying. He's going to get relic number 4. He has full control of all this gold. He just doesn't have a lot of stone. He also has 0 blacksmith upgrades. If DauT had 4 stables spamming camels right now, and he had like 15 on stone instead of 4, I'd like his position. This is going to be interesting. Oh, man. Especially because, like, if DauT loses this position, he loses access to so much stone. ACCM actually is just going to make a couple spears here to try and deal with the camels because he doesn't want to have to do what he's doing now and bring the Mangadai home. He will do so, though, and it works out quite nicely, doesn't it? He could probably run right back to the front now if he wishes to. And again, he could also just put the trebs right here. There's no way that DauT could ever engage against that. Let's see if DauT goes for a second castle here or if he places a more passive one. Mangadai, monks, scout, everything's going to go over here. I like this. Monk will convert that. Mangadai are over here now. We need double castle from ACCM first thing, or double treb, excuse me, which is what he'll do. DauT is his stables here. DauT is 1 castle. He's making another on the other side. Okay. So he's not putting all of his eggs in one basket in terms of winning the treb war. But that is sometimes what you feel you have to do against the Mongols. He is Byzantines. I think ballistics is going to be needed here. Did I just hear university? I don't see... Oh, there is one there. Okay. I mean, ballistics would be helpful for both players, but more so DauT. Now, half of his stone miners are here at the moment. So if he repairs with villagers in this area, he's actually pulling vills off of stone. And DauT still doesn't have castle age armor, much less imp armor. He still doesn't have forging yet. Oh, man. He's going to lose this castle. Now, he can do a lot of raiding on this side. ACCM knows about this castle. But ACCM will have triple castle Mangadai available. And he's going to make one of those castles on this side. Now, is making a treb from over there. But the treb would have to be about here. Which means Mangadai could snipe it, right? Oh, DauT's very fortunate here. He's actually researching heavy camel from one of these stables. He could actually end up losing the heavy camel upgrade, which takes a very long time. Well, when you think Mongols, you think Mangadai. And that's what we'll have here. I think ACCM actually chose the back stable because that would be where any upgrade would come in. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Heavy camel's in. And now you've got to run away from this a little bit more. Now, very fortunate there. I think if he didn't have the heavy camel upgrade, I think he loses the game. I think these Mangadai are going to have to decide on what to do next. I think if you have the castles here, I think you run over here to deal with this. You got to save this area. It's just going to take so much time. And that's going to give DauT time. Oh, they're actually going to run through the middle. I forgot about this. It's so cool. Well, they should destroy the ships pretty quickly. DauT's probably not factoring that into the equation. Zoom, right through the middle. Boom, die fire ship. Boom, die fire ship. Boom. Okay, so DauT's sending camels over that way to defend it. He also is going to mass trebs over here now. Making your unique unit means you have to have the castles. And fortunately, the Mangadai can snipe the trebs to keep those castles up. ACCM with some nice patience here, right? I like the patience because DauT stables are mainly on the other side. So he says, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but your camels aren't so good against my Mangadai. You might need to consider skirmishers here with the Byzantines. And more villagers to repair. Now ACCM might get desperate to go for the trebuchets. It's going to be so close. You go for the trebs now. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to lose this Mangadai. Is this too patient from him? Or is it just patient enough? Either way, I'd consider it impressive. And DauT's just like, I can make more camels because these things are cheap. I don't care. It's worth it for me as long as you don't have that freaking castle. But is it worth it? ACCM might need to buy stone here because he's going to run out repairing this. DauT's got so many camels. Ah, this is crazy. Oh, man, he is buying the stone too. He still hasn't gone for the Trebs because he still wants these Mangudai. Oh my god, no elite Mangudai, by the way. I'm sure you guys picked up on that already. DauT with no switch and no trebuchets on this side either. So both players are looking here. DauT's going to make demos. Could be an epic moment for him. ACCM might see it. I think DauT's actually accomplishing enough. There's just still not enough Mangudai from ACCM. It's still taking too long. These two Mangudai are like just guarding the area in the middle. DauT sees it. And the demos aren't needed. The Byzantine camels. So freaking cheap, man. And DauT's just got the spam going. Now, all DauT's missing to win this game is he's missing 4 Trebs and the rest of his camels here. He's officially locked down this side. It's increasingly difficult for ACCM to ever contest it. And he just needs to make sure he doesn't lose the other side to a push from ACCM. But not the first time we've seen this issue with the Mongols in a 1v1. Because, you know, even though Mangudai are one of the most famous unique units in our game, they're so difficult to get all the upgrades on and elite on. And that was a unit that wasn't elite holding against Heavy Camel. The DauT realized it was all about being able to make the numbers of units. As he's fighting with Vils! The villagers strike back. This is like game number 1, except it's actually a good play here. In the previous game, he did it before he got defeated. Great job from DauT. This will be a comeback in the series, obviously. Bit of a comeback in the game. And yeah, there's just not enough Mangudai. Elite Mangudai for ACCM. He's got 4 Mangudai. 35 camels for DauT. TC will go down. What a great game this was. And I think what we got to see in this game was we got to see the flexibility of the Byzantines. And we just saw more bonuses to play. For Mongols, you talk about the hunt, and then you talk about the Mangudai. There's not much else you talk about with the Mongols. Remember, with how DauT lost the first game, and this game might even be on the main YouTube channel too, so if you didn't see that, it's probably on the main YouTube channel. We'll have the full best of 3 in the description for the whole thing. If you want to see game number 3, this game and series has just been awesome. But yeah, like, very similar stat lines with the most created unit at the end of this series. At the end of game 2 as it was game 1. DauT didn't produce a lot of units after important fights in the previous game. And DauT did produce a lot of units after important fights in this game. I'm wondering, would it have been worth it for ACCM to have sniped 1 or 2 Trebs at the expense of a couple Mangudai? Honestly, I think the answer is no. I mean, I really had to think about it. I was expecting him to be a little less patient, I guess, compared to what he ended up doing here. But, you know, if you end up taking 2 Trebs with non-elite Mangudai, yes, they do kill them fast, but you probably need like 2 volleys, maybe 3. 2 minimum. It's not a 1 volley. And then the camels are getting hits on you. And if the camels are getting good hits on you, your Mangudai ball is lower, so the next time you try and do that, you don't have enough. I mean, if DauT didn't have the stables here, I think he was in trouble. He was producing from the other side of the map for the most part otherwise. Yeah, I just think it's really complicated. If you have castles on the other side of the map, it's complicated. It's different if it's a normal game and your castles are in the middle. So I think him dropping the castles over here were the product of this situation, which was absolutely spot on. And he did the right thing here. But DauT immediately switched it to the other side, which is well done. I also think DauT got conscription really early too, which helped him. I really like the 4th Town Center edition from DauT. I think their economies were actually pretty close for a bit. Maybe ACCM was slightly ahead. And then DauT added the 4th Town Center, and his eco definitely shot ahead there a little bit. Like, let's see. Eco population. Yeah, I think this is where the 4th TC comes in. So I remember saying that DauT could click up to Imp, and he didn't do it at that time. And it was like right before there. I think this is, he goes 4 TCs. What was that, 29 minutes? Yeah, 4 TC just came up a couple minutes ago. Like right before that. Yep. Yeah, so like right here, he's behind in villagers. Then you skip forward 5 minutes, and he's actually ahead in vills. I think that really helped out there. That also combined with having very cheap camels is very important. So well played, DauT. Series is 1-1 now. Still obviously very important. $40 per game. And the long-term results in the group. The next game will be on ACCM's home map, which I forget at the moment what that is, but we'll be in shortly. All right, game number 3. Feels like a big one here, right? These guys are playing out of their minds. Remember, in Season 1, these guys were 3rd and 4th in their respective groups. Pretty wild to say that after how competitive this series has been. Excuse me. I think ACCM was 4th and DauT was 3rd. They were in separate groups this season. Obviously, they're in the same group. Just noticed the shocking number of birds over this mountain in the middle. But yeah, players are going to have to traverse the lands, go up this hill, and find the opponent's base. And at the opponent's base, there's not going to be much in terms of wood. Lovely little thing here. Let me just check this side. Okay, whew, I had a little scared moment there. So we made some tweaks on Kilimanjaro, and the one thing that I wanted to do compared to the ladder version was, so we did like normal balance things, but ladder version of Kilimanjaro seems like a really small thing, actually a pretty big deal because there's limited food on this map. It always would spawn 2 shorefish. So you notice how it's 2 shorefish on one little thing of water and then 2 shorefish on one little thing of water. That's not standard in the ladder version. And I remember playing it and being annoyed by that because I would watch the rec and I'd be like, well, you know, I've got a shorefish here and a shorefish here, and I can't justify making a mill, but you could absolutely make a mill on 2 shorefish because that's 400 food and that comes in pretty quick. So anyways, we changed that, and I love the fact that we've actually seen ACCM take advantage of it. He didn't even choose to mill his berries, which is what you more commonly do with his civ. He actually went for the shorefish. Now, something that could be awkward for him is he's Gurjara's, right? So he went for the mill first so he could put his sheep inside of his mill. But he's got to afford a lumber camp. Well, he needs a house now. Then he needs a lumber camp. Then he would need another 100 wood to make a mill on the berries. So we'll see what the timing looks like. I'm just going to assume that he's tested this build and that he intentionally did this here. Yeah, there was a player in gold, not in platinum, who actually tried to full wall and use these little ponds for fish traps. I watched it. I love the fact it was happening. It did not work, but he gave himself a really good opportunity at least. So you're going to see that from certain types of players in gold. Maybe we might see it from someone like Draken or Ganji in Platinum League. Maybe just to get an edge. But yeah, let's see how quickly the shorefish run out. I guess he's still got 200 food there, so. Okay. ACCM just pushing in the rest of his zebra. Tatars do more damage when fighting on top of a hill, guys. Something to keep in mind. There's DauT, by the way, taking his shorefish. But he just went for the more standard start with the early lumber camp. And Tatars also have more food on their sheep, so there's tons of sheep remaining, plus the shorefish, plus everything that DauT's pushing in. I think as far as that's concerned, I prefer the Tatars. Honestly, I think in terms of relevant bonuses, the Tatars have a lead. But I've seen crazy things from the Gurjaras, and it feels like just the ability to just spam pure stable units this game could be amazing, right? You have the Shravamsha Rider against archers. You have camels against any knights or step lancers. Those camels do additional damage. And Tatars have really weak halberdiers, so Tatars don't really have a great answer to like strong stable units, unless it's their own stable units or the Flaming Camel, which, if we see Flaming Camels in this game, I'll be very surprised. This will probably be the shortest game of all the games. 2 lumber camps for ACCM, so that kind of answers my question on if he's going to ever mill his berries. Hasn't even moved out. If you watch the first season, this is kind of like a replacement for, what did we have? Why does my brain want to say Scandinavia? Serengeti, excuse me. So Kilimanjaro, Serengeti. I actually think this is a bit more punishing to play because think about where you're going to place town centers later, it's super awkward. You can't build town centers on these hills, and it's probably not worth it to TC at the top. If there was a TC that's worth it, maybe here or here. We will see, but I would assume scouts for both players here seems like the safe way of doing it. And again, neither player taking their berries just yet. At least their main chunk of berries. Obviously, the Gurjaras start with some extra berries underneath the TC. Our Tatar Halbs, is that even a word, Step Lancer? Analogous? Do you mean synonymous? I don't think it's really comparable to the Celt Paladin situation, because I actually think Tatar Halbs are seen more frequently. I could be showing my lack of vocabulary, not understanding what that word is. Like, I know what you meant by it, but I've never seen that word in my life. It's totally a word? Okay. Listen, don't blame the education system. All right? Don't make the classic American education system joke. Granted, my education did suck, but I was a horrible student. I didn't care, and I didn't put much time into it, and I'm pretty sure I have a couple issues that were absolutely undiagnosed because I just cannot focus at all on anything student related. It was a bad time for me, okay? So don't make fun of my peers. If anything, I should be making fun of the education system. Yeah, I blame my teachers. Also, this went from being an open aggressive map to being a wall fest really freaking quick. Walls should be down for both players. Scouts out. We have 3 scouts for DauT. It will be 3 scouts for 8. Well, actually, a camel and 2 scouts. So similar. And I'd like to see even a 3rd and a 4th scout if there's walls. I'd be completely fine with that. There's a lot you can do with it. Like, this whole archer switch from DauT's a little sneaky, but you have to travel a long way. And ACCM has placed these walls now. And so he's probably thinking of moving out. He doesn't know that DauT's fully walled just yet, or where DauT's army is. As far as I can see, there's no holes in these walls. DauT could try and dock and transport. No, obviously that'd be epic, but it'd be pretty stupid at the same time. Yeah, I think ACCM spotted this for now. We'll see if DauT wants to send forward any spearmen with those archers. As for now, ACCM farming away. Obviously on his berries. DauT's done the same. And DauT now mixing in the farms too, as he's finishing up on those Tatar sheep. Yeah, I know what the word analogy is, and I don't appreciate the tone. You know what the word analogy is, right? You probably didn't mean that to be sassy, but man, did that look sassy. Obviously, I know what analogy means, but I could tell what he meant by said word. Like, I could put 2 and 2 together, but I genuinely had never seen that word used. Also, since people are throwing cheap shots at me, I didn't expect a word like that from my chat. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I made the joke. Am I making fun of you, or am I making fun of everybody? That's up for you to decide. But I appreciate the education nonetheless. There's no hole in this wall for DauT, who sells his stone at the same time as ACCM, like maybe half a second faster. Look at that. 14-14 for both? And actually, DauT got the better of the prices with buying the food as well. DauT with the proper market micro here. I don't know if I've ever seen the time be so exact. Look at that. The selling of the stone and the buying of the food was at the exact same time. And then obviously later on, DauT bought. So both players feel like booming isn't a real possibility, so they want to head up towards the next stage. Makes sense to me. I would expect a second stable here from ACCM, and DauT loves his cav archers. DauT hasn't clicked up yet. And DauT's going to click up now. Oh, God, he doesn't have the gold. No, he canceled an archer or sold something. Never mind. It's all good, guys. It's all good. Calm down. Just jokes. Very similar with the resources brought in. But DauT switched to gold super early instead of seeding a few more farms. So ACCM has more food. The spearman in the middle will die. It's just a matter of how much value it gets. That'll actually be our first kill of the game. And even a camel's been created by ACCM. So this gets forgotten about with the Gurjaras, but you can produce camels in feudal. They're just camel scouts. Man, oh man, oh man. DauT's going to go for his cav archers. He's really going to have to be careful with the micro. Now, a lot of times players will go for camels in general against cav archers because when they end up hitting those things, they do a lot of damage. Similar to what we saw the heavy camels from DauT do in the previous game, right? My question is, do we also see Shravamsha Riders? I feel like the addition of crossbow from DauT is going to force ACCM to go for Shravamsha Riders. ACCM on the hill, Siege Workshop, that could be crucial for some Scorpions. And the scouts, who are separate from everything else, are looking. They see a range. It's important, though, that they see the archers. DauT will not want to show him the archers. Because if I knew there were archers there, I would possibly add in Shravamshas. Just like 1 or 2. And, okay, we're going to see it anyways. DauT thinking about leaving. Does he know about the siege? He does not. And he also is sitting out here, and he will maybe see that Shravamsha Rider there. Shravamsha is actually running to the middle right now. So Shravamsha, it says, the game describes it as dodging. Basically, they soak up arrow fire. And there is going to be a mangonel as well. ACCM just now sees the crossbows. Remember, Tatars do more damage when on top of the hill. They do not have a bonus for firing up the hill. This positioning for ACCM is just so sick. DauT is... Oh, man, he's going to have so much work to do here. And it's not like he's dropped the town center at all. So it's not as if he has the ability to get ahead in eco. He's done the same thing as his opponent. They're both committed all in. And if you can't get the hill, how are you going to defend yourself? I guess you could loop up around. It's kind of hard with a slower army. DauT also not making cav archers. He's just making his own camels now. So camels do bonus attacks, bonus damage against other camels, which means the Gurjara camels are still doing better in a camel v camel engagement. And DauT now doesn't lose the villager, but does need to get pulled off the gold, which means for him, he will need to sell wood. And he's, you can tell exactly what he's going for. He's trying to get to the top of that hill right now. Now, I feel like you should just run in with the scouts, but nothing else if you're ACCM. Let's see. He knows exactly what's happening here. He's looking. He's also leaving the stone. He's running in. I guess the question is, what does DauT gain from being on the hill if there's no army there? Oh, man. What does DauT do here? Well, the TC is actually amazing. DauT goes directly to ACCM's base is what he does. That's the play. Also, his camels will get an okay engagement. The crossbows are on the gold. DauT only lost 2 vills. He will kill 2 as well, I think. It's so funny, though. Now he's not at the top of the hill anymore. But DauT can arrive here and maybe surprise his opponent. It's really awkward with how they have their armies split. There's no additional gold income or wood income back here for ACCM. So he kind of has to come mop this up. I think DauT is actually... It's hard to say who's in the better position, but he's in a fine position considering where I thought he would be. And it was the counterattack that changed things. So let's look at DauT's point of view here. He's obviously waiting to find out where that army is. Also, he's found this gold. Okay, waiting. Sees this army. Oh, big hits. Big hits. And a conversion. Oh. That's disastrous for DauT. Disastrous enough where he might just dive in. Okay, DauT's definitely going to lose his whole army now, and he knows it. And unfortunately for him, ACCM has already abandoned this area. I think you could actually fight with only Shravamsha Riders and win this fight. I'm not sure how necessary it is as that camel... No. Delete it, DauT. Don't... Oh. Yeah, I think you don't need your own camels here if you're ACCM. You've got good numbers. The concern I see is that, DauT hasn't been pressured at all. He's actually done the right thing to bring ACCM all the way into the back of his base. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, every time I watch pros play with skirmishes, they are not playing with the skirmishes as I do. ACCM's been super patient here. Imagine if DauT were to send any army here or here, which is what he really should be thinking about. Such a crazy army here. There's also a choke point here, where if DauT tries to run with the crossbows, the mangonel will be waiting. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. And he's going to donate a camel as well. DauT, don't attack the monks, man. Oh, he's donated so much army here. Tell me he gets the mangonel. At least he gets that. But it's 27 army versus 4. I still maintain it was the right move for DauT to take ACCM to the back. That was not an incorrect play. It's funny. Again, DauT started to make cav archers and then stopped. Is this the player that we know and love? 2 range crossbows? What happened to 4 range cav archers with no farms, DauT? Town centers? Very different from what I would have expected DauT to do here, based on his reputation. We'll be able to get a little bit of a raid in. A camel raid is not as exciting sounding as other things, but it is still something. And the eco KD has been similar. ACCM has to react to this. Does have the monks back at home to send over to convert. Can send some camels home as well. He's got options there. And now, obviously, the skirmishes are here to raid. ACCM also sending a villager and 2 monks. DauT, though, killing 3 vills. About to be 4. Really good raid. And now the skirmishes... God, they're so fast. I'd hate to be that lady right now. She's going to die. What if DauT just pulled off a quick wall there? Just blew us all away. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to quick wall those things as the monks pull forward and DauT's under massive pressure. Really needs something to change here. I don't know what it's going to be. It's certainly not going to be this fight. And certainly not going to be the front of his base. Both players wanted to go all in. DauT's archers made a little bit of a difference, but it's ACCM with the better economy right now. Better control. Great addition of the monks and just great position on this hill against the civ that should be dominating the hills in most cases. DauT will lose another vill. ACCM, just curious. He doesn't know about this. If he knew about this, it'd be game over. So he's like, where is this guy getting gold? Because he's not getting gold here. Now, at the very least, he's probably thinking, well, he doesn't have army to stop me, so I'm going to win regardless if I just play it safe here, but... Oh, no, there's a camel. DauT, don't let the camel kill your vills. He does convert a skirmish rider there. No, the camel's underneath the TC. Oh, okay, there we go. So he notices. Not too bad. Could be way worse. Unfortunately, ends up killing the camel there, too. 60 eco versus 47. ACCM with a massive lead, and it's only getting worse for DauT. As now the most important resource for him is actually wood. He's probably thinking about an eventual castle, or maybe he'll drop another TC. Like, maybe these vills will end up dropping a TC on a wood line. But ACCM can do whatever he wants. And he's not stopping with his production, and he's finally bringing some siege forward, too, to really finish off this game. If you were to ask me which stat impressed me the most from ACCM throughout this whole series, it's the idle TC time. And you guys are now talking about it. Like, 36 seconds of TC idle time in this game. Do you remember the Nomad game? The Nomad game, he was on 3 town centers with 5 docks, and he had snuck a dock, and he'd done everything. And he only had, like, 2 minutes versus 10. ACCM's eco is always firing. It's crazy. And, of course, now that I talk about it, he idles a bit more. But his mechanics and his macro are just on point, man. Now, DauT can't fight this. DauT can never fight this, and if he does, the game's over. So he's got to hold, and he's got to try something new. And, you know, similar to before, he can maybe lure ACCM away from that hill. And so here he is finally with the cav archers. And he'll head back to the same gold he tried to raid before. ACCM still focused here. And ACCM's going to get a big clear up here. DauT's taking this fight. DauT knows about it. I'm not sure how much better this gets for him. He's hoping the TC fires enough. ACCM did react here and will maybe need to pull army back to deal with that. But he's now underneath the TC. You know, do you want to stay here is always the question. I guess you just do. Patience, I guess, is needed. He is making more camels at home. DauT's on the wood line, though. If DauT's town center kills enough, maybe there's a chance. Uh-oh, DauT's monks, they pop out on the other side. The villagers pop out. The monks won't get conversions. The TC is going to go down. Villagers go down for DauT. He's only got more town centers behind this that can be taken out. ACCM super close to be able to clearing this, and if he clears this, the game is definitely over. Yeah, too many villagers are dying. DauT just outclassed here in game number 3. And the GG's called. That's an interesting little stat. 30 camels for ACCM and 25 for DauT. But remember, the other units. We had the monks. There's 8 monks on the field right now for ACCM. How many conversions did he get? Okay, only 6. Not as exciting. But he's still got 8 monks. He still has the mangonels. He also had more than the 8 Travamshas he has at the moment. I think he must have had like 12. Total military count, and this is, it's funny how military wins games at a high level in a war game. But yeah, total military count was just way higher after DauT lost that fight in the back of ACCM's base. And I think also just the economy looked a little more smooth for ACCM on the transition from feudal age to castle age. He was faster to castle age, which bought him the time for the position. And Gurjara seemed like a really solid pick there. Like I said, like, I can understand why you picked Tatars. I don't think Tatars are a bad pick, but I think Gurjaras are easier to play because you don't have to have this combination of ranged play and melee. It's just like 2 stables. You can counter knights. You can counter archers. And I also really liked ACCM's build order, to be honest with you. I thought that was super clean as well. Like, I think the Gurjara food eco being a bit stronger in Dark Age allows this type of thing to happen. Like, he still has the full berries because he hasn't taken them yet. He still has the 8 goats, giving him passive food eco. He's on 4 farms. DauT doesn't have farms yet. Now, part of that, of course, is because DauT still had some extra leftover stuff on sheep, so it's just different in the way it plays out. But even still, like, what do you want at this stage of the game? 3 farms or 9 farms? I think you're going to want the 9 farms combined with everything else. And actually, at that stage, it was maybe it just feels better. It doesn't really seem like a big difference. What about here? Yeah, you know, it's climbing up a little bit. Farms are paying off. Anyways, still was a really good series. And I hope people enjoyed this one. Obviously, that puts DauT in a position where he needs to get better results up in the future games. Let's actually sum it up and look at the group real quick because I'm still trying to memorize the groups. I'm sure everybody else is as well. And this is what we have here. Can I do a little refresh? This will have spoilers on it, obviously. There we go. So we still have another set to play in Group A. That'll be Nikov and Valis. But that might not be what you expected Group A to look like after the first week. With some crazy results today. Still a lot more to play, obviously. You've got Group B action, Group C action, and then Group D action, as we haven't seen any in those groups, but pretty good day of Titans League casting, I think. If you didn't see any of the previous sets that I just spoiled the results for, you should absolutely watch the games. They were still really good games. Particularly, like, running Vinch, Jordan Ganji, I thought was probably the better set than maybe some of the others. Actually, no, Draken Yo was also still really good. Like, all the promoted players who played today played like gods. Winning 2 games straight to beat Vinch. You had Draken getting a win against Yo convincingly, and then you had Ganji winning that epic game versus Jordan. So don't underestimate any of these guys. Certainly some great showings for the promoted players.